Ladies and gentlemen, the Adult Baby Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 157. I'm B.
And I'm Chick.
And that's it.
And that's all we write. That's all we got.
Wrote.
I was going to say, that's all she wrote. We're done.
We are done.
Chris is in another Eastern Bloc country, Serbia.
Enjoying himself.
And we don't know how long he's going to be gone, I don't think, right?
We have no idea. Chris could be never coming back. I have no idea.
We really don't know what's up with him in the sense
we
that
know he's gone.
We know he's gone, and that's the only facts we have. And he's going to come back whenever he feels like it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think that's really how it goes. It's just like when him and his girlfriend decide they're done and want to come back, then they pick another weird place to go to after
done with America for after 2 weeks.
After I think the pandemic really iced his dislike for America. Even though the whole world got it, he just used that as his excuse to get out of America.
And listen, I'm gonna say it. I think he checked out the last month. I think he was done. I think he was done.
I'm not gonna go as far as to say that he checked out, because I just think he had other things on his mind.
He definitely had other. Yeah, you're right. He didn't fully check out, but he wasn't fully here. Okay?
Yeah, he wasn't.
A lot of part of him was in Serbia.
Exactly.
And we last left you. He had to get a negative test to leave.
And he did.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't think he was going to get that negative test.
I didn't think about it one way or another after we discussed it.
I know. That's how your mind works. Once you leave this, your mind, it's a blank.
It's dope. Whatever,
I thought about it for the next few days after we recorded, because
when he texted us that he was negative, I was like, oh.
Oh, I know. It's almost like you didn't even remember that he was leaving. I was waiting because he was, he had been COVID positive. It felt like under 10 days before, but I guess it wasn't.
Everything he does always seems to be quicker than maybe it really is, but maybe because
we move really
I think
slow?
it's maybe that we're just neurotics, that we don't give him the benefit of the doubt.
You're absolutely right.
That we should.
Yeah, I blame us.
I blame us.
But, yeah.
But we were just he's like, dude, it's been this many days. And I'm like, has it?
I know.
Even though he has a date, I'm like, I don't trust your calendar.
Dude, there was no way.
And you know what I feel bad about, too? And it didn't come to me until after. That when we recorded last episode and I chose to do the Zoom, because you guys, I don't know if you were ready to do it, but I was the first to be like, we'll give it another week. And then he's like, well, I'm leaving Saturday. I was like, all right, looks like the last episode's on Zoom.
I know.
Should we have...
What, risked getting COVID from him? I don't know.
But, I mean, he was negative at the end. I can't even
But
look at you, because we'll get into that in a second.
We can get into that, yeah. You're right. We probably could have done it, but I know myself, and I would, for the next 3 days to 4 days... I would have been like, I'm feeling something.
The love we have for Chris doesn't always outweigh the way how neurotic we are.
Yeah,
you can't help
too
that.
much, man. And I got my second vaccine.
But
I
was kind of sad that we didn't get to see.
I am too, and we didn't. I went into that episode almost like this is a goodbye Chris episode, but it just never even felt that way.
It didn't ever
because
feel
honestly,
that way.
I didn't think he was leaving.
I know.
And then Saturday he was gone.
And then he's gone. I honestly didn't think that he was leaving either. And not that I thought he was leaving, but it just didn't you know what it was? Because I know that we'll still do episodes with him and we'll still talk to him.
Yeah, well that's the thing.
It's not like that feeling where he's away and I haven't talked to Chris in 2 months. We'll talk to him probably a couple times a week.
Right. And plus we've done this before.
This is our second time. And something tells me it's going to be a kind of forever thing with the show.
Of course. This is what he does. Chris is a rolling stone,
He's a rolling. I respect that. He beats to his own drum.
I love that he does that.
And it can make it work regardless. And he's just, that's the way he doesn't he's not like, I'm going to be in Serbia, you guys shouldn't do the show. He's just do what you do and then I'll come on when I can.
No. And he's always willing to help us. He did
get there safe, so we can tell everybody.
Yeah.
He's there safe and sound, and he's happier now than he's
By the way,
when he's home.
We talked to him today. He's been there, for about a week?
And he's just
We talked to him. Today was like the first time like we reached out. We were texting him, and finally was like, "Oh, by the way, how's Serbia?" Like we don't even ask him.
We don't. We didn't make sure he got there. We are the worst.
We're terrible friends. I realized.
I did hit him up and gave him a safe travel when he was on when he was in the airport, and he showed a picture on Instagram. It was like, "Oh yeah, safe travels," but. We didn't make sure he landed.
No, we didn't.
We should have. We got to be better. Me and you need to be better.
We need to be better people.
More too, Chris.
Yeah, you're right. Well, if Chris would stay in one place, it'd be easier.
Hear us deflecting. But before we get into it, I just want to say that I have to look at.
No. Before we get into even that, I just want to say one thing for the show's future. Me and Chick have a lot of stuff up our little sleeves.
Yes, we do.
I think we're gonna take this show. By the time Chris gets back, we're taking this show to
a whole new level.
Yeah,
2021 is big things for the adult
big
babies.
things.
Natural big things. We're not pushed like.
No.
It just feels like it's time.
I think we're not going in any different direction. Nothing's gonna change. But we bought cameras.
Yeah.
We each bought a camera so you could see us better.
We hope we'll be technologically much more advanced, and we hope we sound better, look better, and we hope it just makes the overall experience of the show better.
I hope so, because the new way, a lot of the younger listeners or younger people in general that listen to podcasts, not ours, but
they listen to podcasts.
Yes, but most of younger people will watch stuff on YouTube now.
Yeah.
So that is where like the audio will always be there, obviously, on the podcast Purple Podcast app. But I think it's time we put a nice
cater to the YouTube.
Yes.
And we've been getting more listens and views on YouTube.
Dude, our last episode, terrible episode, got 500 and something views, I think.
Can I tell you that as much as, and I think we have to stop doing it, is talking about an episode being bad.
I know.
We left that episode, all three of us, thought it was terrible. We just felt like it wasn't a good episode. And I've gotten a few comments of, it was good. Like, everyone's just like, so we just got to, I think that's another 2021 thing that
you know
we
what,
just
though?
have
Here's
to,
the thing. Here's the other thing, though. When we do say it's a bad episode, people reach out and they're like, it was good. When we say nothing, nobody reaches out and says, no, it was good. Nobody says it was good if we don't say anything.
I guess that works, too. I mean, I guess.
Nobody says anything. No. It's almost like reassurance. Like, right? What do you guys think? This stinks, right? And they're like, no, we like it. It was good.
It's almost like we want people to tell us to keep doing it.
Yeah. But listen, the Zoom thing has been...
I don't like the Zoom just for the whole feel.
The Zoom, it's so tough. We're talking over each other because you're in the dark.
I know, and I will stop doing that because I realize I can't look at myself in the pictures. I'm like, it's just a shadow. It's two people and a shadow.
That's why it's hard to get a conversation going, but not even just that you're in a shadow.
No,
it's hard with everybody.
Well, I think the thing is the lag, even though it's minuscule and not long, the lag throws off a conversation of when you should and shouldn't start, then you stop and you shouldn't. Like it's just weird. It's not a comfortable way to record.
Yeah.
But tonight I'm looking across from myself and I see B. He's got 4 pieces of tape and a big bandage on his head.
Gauze.
And the tape is sticking off his head. It's not fully on. I can't even really look at him and take him serious.
Well, yeah.
But I'm happy he got the fucking disgusting thing that was on his forehead for the last. How long was that on your head?
Since maybe the second or third month of the pandemic.
Second or I thought it was even longer than that. But it has been on his head a while, and it was just getting worse and worse looking.
Yeah.
And
I wore a hat for about a year.
And I want to hear your story on how you got it removed, why you got it removed, what made you finally do it.
So we'll get into this. So, first of all, because of the medication I'm on, and also the fact that I'm...
The kidney medication?
Yeah.
Or for your
anti-rejection medication.
Okay.
Listen, I have a whole thing. I got the vaccine. I'm not going to go...
Double dose?
I got the second vaccine. All my medication... My body is trying to kill me. That's what's going on in my life.
And you're fighting it off.
I take medication for the kidney, but the medication just trying to kill me in other ways. It's killing my immune system, and it does this thing. There's one medicine that I'm on. It causes people to get like skin.
What looks like HIV lesions.
Yes, lesions. No, they're not usually
like
that
Tom
bad.
Hanks
They're
from
not
Philadelphia.
They're not usually that bad though. But here's the thing. So the fact that I'm pale and Irish and chalky white doesn't help.
Chalky white.
Yeah, it's bad. So if I'm out in the sun, like I freckles turn suspicious on me. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good situation for me and my freckles. So
that's amazing.
I'll get like these marks. I get them on my back a lot, and usually you catch them early, and they just slice them off like a deli meat, and you're fine.
And the back is also better because it's not as visual. And you're not a no shirt guy.
I could be,
but you're not.
I used to be.
But you're not.
Not anymore.
So, yeah, but even if those lesions weren't all over you.
Stop calling them lesions, for Christ's sake.
Even if the lesions weren't all over you, you don't have, you're not as, see, your thing is you have pride. So I will not wear a shirt having my fat body and not be ashamed.
Yeah.
You have enough self-respect where you're like, I don't look like I shouldn't wear a shirt, so I keep my shirt on.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
fair enough.
You know what I mean? You're not a no-shirt guy.
Right. I'm not. And I used to love to take my shirt off, but, my body's changed a little bit through the years, So anyway, I get this thing on my head, and it was... So a lot of times, like I had one on my back. Remember when my back was bleeding?
Yes.
When we started the podcast.
Yes, the white T-shirt,
Yeah.
and then you'd stop wearing white.
Yeah. So, oh, God, it's lovely being me, isn't it? Guys, don't grow up to be Brendan Ryan. It's not fun.
If I could be like B.
Yeah, you'd be sitting in a dermatologist's office. I was trying to make a joke about my going. You can't. I was at an open mic last night trying to make dermatologist jokes. It's almost impossible.
You should have just went up on stage with no hat.
I was gonna the other night, but then I was like working on something else.
I am going to have to take a photo,
Of course,
and show this,
of course,
because it's hard to look at you with a straight face.
All right.
tonight.
So let's get back to the beginning. So I get these things, these little marks, and if you don't deal with them right away, they could grow. And so I had this a while ago. I had it right underneath, and they cut it off. And then I had another one right on, a little red mark. You wouldn't even notice it. And I was at the dermatologist. He's like, I could scrape it off right now, see if it's dangerous. And I was like, nah, we're not right now, because it was nothing. It wasn't like an urgent thing.
They look like sunspots almost.
Sort of, yeah. This almost looked like little dry patch of skin, I guess.
Okay.
But you could barely see it. I could see it because I'm on the lookout for it. So the last time I was at the dermatologist, I just didn't get it cut off. I was dealing with something, the thing on my back. It was fine. He's like, all right.
Knives for one night.
Yeah. He's like, listen, if it starts to get bigger, we'll come in and we'll take care of it. No big deal. In and out, right? Then the pandemic hits, and out of nowhere, this thing like erupted like a volcano. Like it popped out of my head. It looked like I was growing a horn.
It did.
It was awful. So,
and then it just progressively looked worse.
Yes. Well, you didn't see it that often.
I saw it often enough where I saw it when it was when it didn't look terrible.
Yeah.
And then I saw stages.
Right. So my thing was, when it happened was the middle of the pandemic. I wasn't going to the doctor. I wasn't leaving my house. So it was one of those things. I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna have to wait this thing out. And I know it's called a basal cell carcinoma. So it's like a type of skin cancer, but you use the word cancer, it sounds scary.
With you, we use the word cancer very lightly.
Oh God,
because
I
I feel like you've had 10 cancers.
Oh, there's numerous cancers in me. So I said I'm so Irish. I go to the beach with a beach ball, and I come home with a melanoma. Like that's a skin cancer. Nobody gets it. Nobody laughs. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's what, you can't make dermatologist jokes. They just don't work. So I guess now I'm starting to feel comfortable, and I'm like, all right, I got to get this thing taken care of. Honestly, summer's coming up, so I'm like, I gotta clean out the old head wound Harry over here.
feel like that I want to see what's under that because
It's not bad.
Oh, all right.
I can show you. They sliced it off.
I know. The bandage looks so big. It looks like somebody hit you with a baseball bat and you have it covered.
Well,
like the size of it, it just looks like a gunshot wound.
It does. So yeah, and you'll see a picture of it. I'm sure people that are listening. So I go there. I finally make the appointment. Making a doctor's appointment for me is a big thing. I get so in my head with it. And
why?
Dude, I don't know. I've gotten terrible with it, with making doctor's appointments. It's not good.
Is it because you know
Just
the
going.
experience
Yeah.
is probably going to be hell for you?
It's not even it's hell, but
hell is probably a safe.
The way I look at it is, here's my psychological evaluation of myself. I feel like when I was a little kid, I was at the doctor's too much, and like I was there like overload more than most kids, obviously.
Yeah.
And now that I'm a certain age, it never bothered me back then. I just kind of dealt with it, and I think now that I'm older, it's sort of coming out. Like it's like a. Is
it almost like it's fuck it, I'm done, I'm over doctors, I don't want to keep going?
Maybe that, but almost like, yeah, maybe. I can't, I don't know what it is, but I've gotten very bad with it.
As much as you've been in the doctor, you're still here, so I feel like,
yeah, I am.
But and my sense is,
that's a good observation.
but the reason why I say that is because they've always had good outcomes.
Yeah, they have, but I should go to the doctor more often.
Fair enough.
My kidney doctor, when I went to call him, I don't know if we talked about this, but when I went to call, I called my kidney doctor because I had to make an appointment, and the guy basically refused to see me because he's like, "You haven't been here since 2019," and I was like,
So why would he refuse to see you?
Because he's like, you need to start coming here. Go to a doctor that you see, and I'm like, I don't see any doctor, so I have to like start going. And February is always... I think what?
You don't want to face...
reality?
Probably. Of how serious it's going to be now that you're getting older again.
Right, yeah. Dude, I'm having a lot of thoughts. I'm actually having a lot of like weird death thoughts lately.
You better not leave me.
But no, I won't. I hope not.
You hope not!
Just pretend I'm in Serbia or something.
Well, guys... It's Chick, and that's it. Episode 163.
Whoa, that's fast. I have had these thoughts that now also in February I do sober February, so I don't drink, don't do any, I don't smoke. Not that I smoke a lot anyway. I do that once a month, but like I sustain. And I think like my thoughts are starting to like really, like real life thoughts just get to you, and death has been like on my mind a lot.
You should not stop drinking then.
What do you mean? Oh, I should. Yeah, I know.
Just keep those thoughts.
It's
fucking away. No, I was joking.
It's a weird thing, though.
I think you more than most people, the age. See, I was actually having a conversation similar that. I used to always be petrified of death.
Yeah.
In the sense where once I thought about it, it would freak me out to the point of thinking like, oh my God, I'm not going to be here one day.
Yeah.
Like, and just that thought alone freaked me out. After years of therapy for just my anxiety, one of my therapists to this day, he wasn't a great therapist. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't the guy for me. But
you
he
could
did.
Tell us. He wasn't good.
But because he wasn't bad, but one thing he did say that's helped me tremendously to this day is, and it's something that I always do to kind of put it in perspective, was he goes, "What happens when you die?" And I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "So what are you scared of?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he kind of just looked at me like, try and look at it from that point. There's nothing to be scared. And I'm not saying that works. And
are you scared?
Easy.
Are you scared about the act of dying?
Like of going through the pain?
Yeah.
No.
See, I'm more of, and especially
it's the not being here.
Yeah.
Like everybody sees life through your own eye, and like you're here, and to not wake up one day is freaky.
Yeah.
And it used to, to the point where it used to like give me chills, and like it would freak me out, where I had to almost psych myself out of it. Like You don't got to worry.
Yeah.
You can't think about this. Don't worry about it. I think the fear of death gives a lot of, and it's not because you're scared of dying. It's whatever. Everybody's different, but I think that it's just a perspective that you have to look at it. But as you get older, it gets a little more closer, and everybody as they get older. But I think people like yourself who have medical issues or conditions that you've always been kind of young, and it's always kind of been like, I won't have to worry about it and now you're getting closer. I'm not trying to freak you out, but
I'm going to need another transplant. That's just part of the routine.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to last forever. And I
got you, bro.
Thanks. I don't think you'd pass the
My kidneys are good.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, and it just seems more and more death is around us, and it's
we also did lose another person from Farmingdale.
Yeah,
again.
These
it's
people,
like every month somebody from Farmingdale that we went to school with
that
passes away.
probably throws in like why it's on my brain.
Well, I think it is just another kind of like you said, just another thing to throw into the pool.
It just shows you we don't last forever. And honestly, the other thing that really freaks me out is like now that obviously I don't have kids of my own, but I have 2 nieces, and now that's coming into like where like I want to be around to see them grow up.
Can I tell you?
And that's like a thing I think that's like really getting to me.
This is what I don't understand with parents too. How parents like could think about their kids, and you understand it to an extent of that living for somebody else. I mean, obviously they're not ours, so there's still always that difference.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about it the same thing where I don't give a shit about anybody else but my nephews now, and I want to see them get older, and I think about the effect on them of me not being around because I'm getting so close to them. So it's true, as you get older, these things start to play into
things
effect
come
a
into
little
your life
bit more.
that you never thought would, and maybe that's why me and you are best not to have kids, because we're like we would be old.
I think about it. If I had a kid,
I'd
I'd be a disaster.
I really wouldn't know what to do with myself. I mean, the way I feel about my nieces is something I've never felt for anybody.
The way I look at it, though, is if I pass away, at least they have their parents, and they'll get through it.
Yeah, but I mean,
I feel like if I had a kid, I don't know how long I'm going to be around, where if you go, now that kid's fucked.
It might be better off.
That's why I think I personally really, truly think I'm better off staying. I don't want my own kids because my nephews are fine. They're enough for me. I love them, and that's it. But I don't.
Is that nasty cough?
There's that cough that's gonna come and get me. But it does put things in a different perspective. But I don't get freaked out by the thought anymore. I'm not a tough guy who's not scared of it. I just don't. It just like to me, I'm content that it's gonna come, and I'm happy how I've lived my life, and I hope things will get better still. You know, I got a ways to go.
You are happy how you live your life, huh? That's an interesting thing to say.
Listen, they could always be better, and I could do it, but I'm not going to live a life of regret. I have friends, family. I do things that I want. It is what it is, man. I enjoy myself.
That's another thing that really gets me, and I have this weird thing. Right now in my life, I am extremely happy where I'm at in life. I love my job. I just love a lot. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Very content where I am. And I have this weird thing that goes on with me where whenever I think things are going too well, I'm like, there's got to be a cliff at the edge of this. Things are going to go down fast. And I've always felt this way when things are going well for me.
I've always felt like naturally things I'll have hurdles.
Yeah,
no matter how things. Yeah,
we all have life cycles, but
that's what I think. Is a hurdle necessarily mean that the good things have to come crashing to a halt?
No, they don't. But I guess the way I'm looking at it is, I'm like, things are going really good right now. I could just see, my health becoming an issue, and I'm like, nothing could be right. I don't know.
Listen, I hear you. I probably. I'm the worst where I'm like, probably right.
Yeah,
no, it's just no. I don't mean to say that, but like, I am that person who's feel like no matter what, I'm just going to be where I am. But I am content and I am happy with. Listen, I would like to have more money and things.
Of course, yeah. There's always things.
There's things that I would like, but in a grand scheme of things, where if I was on my deathbed, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, my life was terrible.
You wouldn't regret.
I wish I did this. No, I'm like. I had my fun. I made my mistakes, and I'm learning, and it's made me who I am.
Yeah,
and you who you are, and
I just there's
my
more.
thing is just there is more.
I
to
have
do.
a lot more to do. You have a lot more to do.
I agree.
More episodes on this podcast. First of all,
and that's why you got to those. Everybody thinks of that in the grand scheme of things, and it freaks everybody out. And you got to just kind of if you dwell on those things, you'll never be able to.
I know.
Now.
I know.
And can you please, every so often, just smack that tape back on your head that's just plopping off the side?
So I go to this doctor. I finally go. He gives me a little shit about.
Really went off the deep end.
I know.
We got serious.
We went into depth, and I'm going to go talk about like the cancer gotten taken out of my head. So I go there, and the guy right away. I have a good relationship with the guy. I think I told you about this guy. I make him laugh a lot. Like great bedside manner.
You told me that, but you also said this guy's used to me.
Yeah, he's used to me.
So he knows that you're a nut job.
Yeah,
which is very important for you to have a doctor that knows that.
I like him to know that I'm a little wacky, right?
Yeah.
He comes in holding my chart with a grin. Like he knows, he's like, all right, this isn't the run-of-the-mill patient here. We're going to have a little fun. Because
to you, it's a story at dinner. Oh, this patient came in today. You guys have no idea.
He definitely talks about me to his family. I'm pretty sure.
Or his friends on the golf course.
Yeah.
This fucking one patient. Love the guy. Nice guy. But wow, is he nuts.
He's probably doing a dermatology podcast right now telling his best stories. You're not going to believe this one lunatic I had. So I get there. I use the excuse of the pandemic, which, by the way, I'll be using the pandemic excuse for the next 2 years. Oh, you want to come to my wedding? Sorry, the pandemic was 2 years ago. I'm going to be cautious. I'm not going. So I'm using that for everything. Oh, I couldn't come. I wasn't leaving the house.
One of my good friends, I'm using the pandemic and his reaction to the pandemic to not hang out with him for a little bit. And if he's listening, he knows who it is.
Oh, that's good.
Only one person I'm doing it to.
Only one person?
Well, because they always brag about how reckless they are and zero fucks given is always texting. So I'm like, as long as you have zero fucks given, we are going to have zero encounters going forward.
I
you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
And then he's like, but you hang out with this person and that person. I said, at least I know these people are trying to do the right thing.
All you can do is just do the best you can.
We do the best we can.
So I go to this place. The guy slices me open, and he now I'm afraid of losing too much blood. That's one of my.
I never realized. I mean, I think we have talked about it, but I never realized it was a thing. I just thought it was a thing that happened.
It's one of many big things. I just think I'm going to bleed out on the table right there. So the guy goes to slice this thing off me, and it's like a deli meat. That's how they slice it. So it comes out, and right away I feel I'm brave.
That thing looked like a ham. Like, the brown rings on a ham? That's a great way to actually put it.
Dude, it was made by Borsheim.
He had the end of the ham that he had to get cut off his head.
Put a little pineapple on it.
The little fucking nipple on the end.
Sugar glaze that. Maple glaze.
Honey maple.
Carcinoma. So I went in there like actually brave. I'm like, listen, I got to get this. I'm like looking.
In there brave. You're fucking 37-year-old.
I know. And I'm ready. I want this thing off my head. Like I said, I've been wearing a hat for a year. So the guy slices in, and I feel the blood come down my forehead there, and I start freaking out. And I say, right away, I'm like, you guys know I freak out with a lot of blood, right? I'm like, and the doctor's like, we know, Brendan. The nurse is like, Brendan, we know you. But they're smiling the whole time, which kind of makes me feel good, I feel like I'm...
Because they're like, oh, if he only saw what's going on up here.
Yeah. So, exactly. So then the guy says one word that I hate to use this word, but it triggered me. It triggered me. He goes...
That's the name of the episode. B gets triggered.
He says, are you on blood thinner? He asked me if I'm on blood thinner. Now... When somebody asks
That's a bad question.
That means
You're
I am
bleeding.
I'm squirting. I'm like a busted pipe.
Have you drank anything that would make your blood thin?
No, I haven't had alcohol
That's what I was. That was my next question.
Month. I'm drink a lot of water. I don't know. A lot of apple chips is my new thing. But So right away when he says that, I know he knows that he messed up. He's like, I shouldn't have said that to him. Because I'm like, what do you mean? Am I bleeding? Is it uncontrollable? Is it uncontrollable? Am I going to bleed out? And at the same time, as I do that, I do this other thing where, like, and we've talked about it on the vaccine episode, I'll move. So I jerk my leg and I hit the nurse in the shin. So I already got that. So I'm bleeding. I hit the nurse in the shin.
Hit the nurse.
Yeah, they got gauze on my head, and he's like, Brendan, we're done. We're controlling the blood a little bit. It's fine. You're
Can I
fine.
tell you, they're more nervous, not that you're going to bleed out, but of your reaction.
Exactly.
You're aware of this, right? It's not that you're making the situation worse.
I'm making it so much worse.
Your reaction that they're worried about.
I know.
Because they don't do these things. Like, that is not an artery. It's not like there's nothing on your head from what they did that's going to bleed. You're going to bleed out the pints of blood that you need to die.
I'm afraid of feeling woozy. I know that
Just
sounds crazy.
Just the feeling?
Yes.
You get woozy every time you drink.
No, I don't.
No, but you know what? You don't get drunk? You feel fine when you're drunk?
No, see, I process alcohol different than you do. I can handle it. Like I
can handle my alcohol.
No. I would feel woozy if I did weed. Then I would.
Did weed?
If I smoked weed.
How old are you?
If I smoked weed, that's when I would feel woozy, because alcohol is fine. Like I'm okay with that.
I understand you enjoy alcohol. You're not fine. What's your drunk feel like?
It's I just feel better. I don't get like wobbly. One time I fell going up the stairs in Manhattan. I had
Fair
absinthe.
enough. You are Irish. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no, it processes different in an Irishman.
Maybe that's why your blood's so thin.
Well, one time I got woozy. It was because I drank absinthe. I drank absinthe at this place. Have you ever had absinthe?
No, I don't buy it.
Well, it's like a different kind of.
I think the absinthe that is usually spiked with something. I don't think it's.
Yeah, no, it's.
You know what I mean? Like
it's a cool. They like melt. Yeah. It's almost like you're doing crack because they melt a
Let's
sugar
get
cube.
back into this with the doctor because I really need to. Because
I
want to get to where it comes to me.
Okay, so now I'm sitting there.
So selfish I am.
I'm sitting there, and it's finally done. They have to cauterize it to stop the bleeding, which they like take.
Was that something that they normally would have had to do?
Sometimes they've done that.
Okay.
So they like cauterize it. They like burn the skin.
Yeah, I know what that means.
Oh, I didn't know you were Dr. Chick.
It's not I mean, everybody knows. What do you think they do in all war movies when they burn somebody to fucking?
Yeah. So they're doing that, and I know that can cause infection. So I'm like, oh, they have to do that. So now he gets it. It's under control, and they wrap me up and everything. Now they wrap me up in the gauze
like you're a cancer patient.
Yeah, like I'm my head went through a windshield.
You look like Anne Frank.
Dude, whoa, 2 Anne Frank references back to back. You better watch out.
Bad.
They not only do they put the gauze on the thing, but then they take like this other this piece of tape and they wrap it around my head.
You look like you
like a bandana.
It was one of the best things I ever seen in my life.
So right after that, I'm like finally relaxed. Now the other thing is not helping. I have the Apple Watch, so I'm constantly checking my my heart rate.
I don't agree with those things for certain people. You being one of them.
Right. I realize I can't wear that to a doctor's office.
I don't think you should wear that because I think it enables you to see that you're freaking out.
Yeah.
And then at any point, like if that's think about it, if you were about to go on stage and you just like, oh, let me check it, and then it's through the roof.
Yeah, it would probably mess me up.
Like, I think certain people shouldn't have that ability.
Yeah, I shouldn't have that.
Again, I would check it too much. So
we've talked about this, that a big problem with the world today is people just have too much information.
Yeah, too much.
They have too much access to everything,
yeah.
And it's not good. And you're probably right. That's one case. So they got me wrapped up, and now I asked the nurse, I say, can I have some water? And she goes, sure, hold on. And she walks out, and the door is open, and I hear her talk to the doctor, and she goes, he wants water. She says it like he wants water. Like I asked for a bouillon of gold.
Because you're probably one of the first patients to really go in there after this. They're like, can he just leave?
Maybe. Well, no, they wanted me to stay. They had me like reclined on this thing, and and they're like, just hang here for like 5 minutes, and I was like, all right, can I have water? And
Dude, they were talking about you before you got in.
Of
They hate to
course,
bring
of
it
course.
up. Like,
what's in my charts? I would love to know.
exactly. That's why when they talk to each other about you, it's just like, what else does he want?
He wants water, but it's not. I asked for water. I didn't ask for a Big Mac.
B, it's all in context of your previous. It's all encompassing, bro.
Maybe.
Like, you know what I mean? You're just an annoying patient where the fact that you ask for anything because of years of abuse.
Tap water.
But it's not. It's just the fact that it's like I knew this was going to happen today.
So the nurse, I hear the nurse ask the doctor this, and I'm like, all right, I don't know why she's asking him. You can just go to the sink. So then there's a silence after she says he wants water. There's a silence, and then I hear him footsteps to the room. The doctor's walking to the room now. He's gonna talk to me. Doctor walks in and he goes, we can't give you water. And I looked at him. I'm like, so now I'm like, I think that he's playing like my own game on me. Like he's messing with me now. He's like, water's gonna make you bleed more. You know,
can I tell you? I was gonna say, if it's gonna thin your blood out more?
No. This is what because I kind of went back at him. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? I'm like, what do you mean? What are you trying to say to me? I can't have water? And now I'm wrapped up like a mummy, and I'm like, what do you mean I can't have water? And he goes, no, we're afraid that you're gonna choke on the water. He goes, you got yourself so worked up that I don't want to give you water because sometimes patients, when they work themselves up, it goes down the wrong pipe. This guy...
They're treating you like you deserve, bro. If you're going to act like a fucking child, they're going to treat you like a child. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I love your doctor.
He does treat me like a child because you know what he does? He goes, we can give you a lollipop, though. So I get a lollipop.
This is his way of you trying. He's like, maybe if I tell him that we're treating him like this because of him and that I offer him a lollipop, he'll get the fucking hint to grow up.
Well, I'm not getting I am what I am, okay? Listen, it is what it is, Doc.
He's nervous of you fake choking on water. That's one of the best things I ever heard.
When he told me that I am so worked up that the water is actually going to go down the wrong pipe, I was like, you're kidding me, right?
Well, you know what? They're not kidding you because every time you come in, they're probably like, are you fucking kidding me?
So he gives me a lollipop. And now this...
And you took it.
Of course I took it.
You took the lollipop
I took
and
it.
sucked on
now,
it
I
like
will
a
say
mad
this.
little boy.
You know how I know I'm a disaster? Because they don't give lollipop. This lollipop. Have you ever had a lollipop where you like this lollipop has been around since probably 1992?
That's probably the same lollipop that you see every time you go in there. And
Yeah,
they finally
because nobody
gave it to
asks
you.
for a lollipop.
Because they probably don't. It's not a pediatric.
Exactly. It's old people that go there.
It's adults.
They
They don't usually feel the need to
It's all-
serve the adults with lollipops.
It's all old Irish people with skin deformities. Nobody usually needs a blueberry, blue ras lollipop to soothe their pain. So embarrassing.
Oh my god!
And then also, and the other thing he's doing is he's slowly lifting me up, like I'm on one of those chairs.
I'm so happy that they treated you like a fucking child.
So I'm reclined, and then he lifts me up like another 20 degrees. He's like, all right, sit there for a little while.
99.9% of the people who listen to us can't relate to anything.
Nobody
you're saying
can relate to this.
because nobody else has these fucking instances.
If you can't relate, just be happy that you can't relate to this.
Exactly.
So then he gets me up straight, and now that's when I texted you. I texted you a picture of me with my mask wrapped up, and then on the bottom there's a little lollipop coming out. So finally got out of there, and that's.
I wish we could bring this person into the show. This doctor.
He probably, you know what? He's such a cool guy. I actually love him. He's like a great doctor, and
Dude, anybody who could deal with you is a great doctor.
Out of all my doctors, and he knows I do stand up too, so he's always asking about stand up and stuff. So he's a really cool guy.
Nice.
So yeah, that was my thing, and it's not over, by the way. This is just like you have to
So
get.
how worried are you about round two?
Well, round two could.
You have to. I can't look at the tape coming off your head. It keeps popping off your fucking head. Fucking put a hat on. Thank God.
Hat back on.
It has to stay on.
Yeah, so round the second one, this is like a biopsy just to make sure Listen, they know it's a basal cell. Hopefully, it's nothing more serious. Otherwise, this
Better
episode.
hope this episode's going to be really intuitive.
Listen, even if it's something terrible,
we'll rock with it.
No,
We still won't miss a week.
We won't miss a week. We'll go to the bedside.
I'll go to the bedside. B, it's Sunday. You got to do it.
All right. You'll be raising me up in the bed. Like, no water for you.
No water, B. I'm nervous about you, Joe.
So yeah, he pretty much. He's like, I'll probably have to get a little surgery, and they'll like take the rest out. He took most of it out, but it is what it is, man.
Cracks me up, man.
Yeah. So.
Well, we're glad you're all right.
So I'm okay.
I almost want you to go to the doctor every week so we can talk about it.
I know it's terrible, and I got the second vaccine. That went smooth though.
I was just gonna say. So the second vaccine went smooth.
It went fairly smooth. I actually called you again.
How many weeks are you before you're ready to rock?
Well, here's the thing. Because I'm immunosuppressant,
You need a third shot?
No, I don't need a third shot. But where they say it's 99%, in 7 to 10 days you'll reach 98, whatever the percentage is. Mine, it might take a little longer, and it might not be fully, 90%. They don't really know.
So you're going to be like 93%.
Well, it could be 72. I don't know. The doctors, I have to speak to a doctor beforehand, and they're basically like, listen, we don't know. It's good you take it. You're getting all the protection you can, and that's basically it. Well, that's what I'm saying. My body's trying to kill me.
This whole conversation makes me laugh, though.
Oh, good.
Because it's a good segue into something I was going to bring up, and I was like, yeah, it's not a good story in itself. But as a side piece from yours, I almost cut my thumb off at work the other day.
A slice piece.
I was using a pocket knife. Like, we have to put these things called glides, and it's just like a shelf that you put in like the refrigerators and like gas stations and stuff. And there's a little piece on the side of something that I had to cut off so it could fit. So I have my pocket knife, and I cut it towards me.
Oh,
this
terrible.
is why I deserved everything I got.
They teach you that day one.
Yeah, I said it was. I blame nobody but myself, poor mechanics, and lazy cutting and use of a pocket knife. And as I did it behind me, it was like a little nub thing that I was cutting off.
Yeah.
And it went quick. And as soon as it went off, my whole hand went towards my other hand, and I cut a side of my thumb off, like just a little top chunk.
Let me see. Oh, man. Wow, you really did.
Yeah.
It's like at an angle.
It's like a 3/4 moon.
Look at that. Now, did you think you were going to bleed out like I do?
Well, I'll tell you what's funny is I did it, and I look at my thumb because, like, when it doesn't hurt right away, but you feel it, and then it, like, the pressure of it or whatever, like, that's how it felt. But I was looking at it, and the chunk was still on the top, so it was, like, hanging by a little piece of skin. Yeah. So I tried to press it back down, and it fit perfectly in the spot because that's where the skin was. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Like, it's not going to stop it from bleeding. So I ripped it off.
Did it hurt?
No. That part didn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, it was already on a little piece. And I ripped it off, and then it just started pouring out blood.
Oh, God.
Thank God blood doesn't bother me, and I'm not like you. I just took a napkin, and I wrapped it around the finger just to finish doing what I was doing so I could finish doing the job. Thank God I was with somebody else. I saw her looking under my feet. I'm dripping down. I'm dripping on.
I was
dripping all over the place. I must have asked the gas station guy for about 5 Band-Aids because it bled. At first, I'm just like, I just got to get this thing covered up. I wrap it with a napkin. I get to the guy. I put a Band-Aid on it. It's still bleeding through the Band-Aid. I put 2 more Band-Aids over it because it's on a weird spot on my thumb.
Yeah.
And it's soaked through 3 Band-Aids and was still dripping.
At least it's on your left hand.
So now I'm like, oh, my God, I wonder if I'm going to need stitches. And I'm asking the guy I'm with, I'm like, you think I'm going to need stitches on this? He's like, to be honest, there's nothing to stitch.
Yeah, what
He's
is?
like, you got it. Yeah, it's like, it's not like it was a gash. It was just a chunk taken out. So eventually it wind up like now I'm like, the kid's like, I'll just finish, just clean yourself up. So I'm in the sink in this gas station, bleeding all over the place,
You
fixing
think the gas station attendants, like the monster guys, never leave blood when they leave? They don't bleed on my floors.
No, they love us because we actually sell. But, anyway.
Look at that shots fired, Energy World.
But it wound up being, like, it stopped bleeding, I'd say, a couple hours later. But
2 hours?
where it stopped bleeding.
Like
I was able to
slow-
get it. Yeah, I was able to get it, and I just had to kind of I wasn't able to clean it out though
Yeah.
until I got home. That's when it stung a little bit when you're actually putting peroxide and whatever. And now now it's just an annoyance because it still hurts when you put pressure on the spot.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I don't know. But I just think if that was you, Jesus, you would have fainted and probably went home.
I've never fainted, and I'm very afraid.
But have
of
you ever
fainting.
had to see it? Did you see the pictures I sent you?
No, you didn't send me pictures.
I almost don't want to. I almost want to. I don't know.
No, looking at blood, don't get it confused.
Okay.
Looking at blood, seeing blood doesn't mess me up. I'm fine with blood.
Then you would have been fine seeing it.
My thing is, in my head, I feel like I'm going to lose so much blood that I'm going to get weak in the knees and maybe fall down. That's what I'm afraid of. I know it's ridiculous.
Did you give blood in high school?
Never.
Could you give blood?
I probably could have, but
No, I mean in the sense that, like, do you think you could?
not with my blood phobia. No.
That's what I'm asking.
No way.
That's something you don't think you'd be able
Yeah,
to do.
no.
Because when I used to give blood in high school, when they had the blood drive, you were able to give blood.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy would go get stoned before we give blood.
Yeah.
Because you feel great, you feel even better, and like amplifies it a little bit.
See, that to me, that's what I'm saying. Like that wouldn't sit well with me. It'd be in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna like.
Because I'll never forget my dean walked past me. It was me and Big T from the show.
Yeah.
Mr. Shanley, our dean.
Yeah.
Love this guy to death.
Shanley was
walks
great.
past us and he goes, Chick, Terry, what are you guys doing in the commons? Because it was like, he knew we had class. And we were like, we're going to give blood. He goes, you? They're letting you guys give blood? And we're
That
like,
is amazing.
He is. And we're like, yeah. He goes, what part are you guys giving? The TH and C? We're like, Mr. Shanley. We were fucking high as kites.
Oh, that's funny.
But I was always fine with it. Like, I did that. Like, it never bothers me giving blood or seeing myself bleed. Like, that stuff never bothers me.
It wasn't up until recently. In the last couple of years that this
Up
started.
until last week?
No, maybe 2 or 3 years. But
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I really wish you could go to the doctor every fucking week. But I wanted to do a little game with you.
oh god,
And I know you're going to give me trouble towards the end of it. But I think we're going to
I
have
might give you trouble from the beginning.
No, because I think that you'll have fun with it in the beginning. Nothing original about
I know.
it.
I know that. I know who I'm dealing with. I know it's not original.
So I was in the shower the other day, and I was just thinking about the show, like what are the things to do in the show, and I'm like, and I was thinking of Fuck, Marry, Kill, the game,
Yeah. Okay.
or whatever. You know, everybody plays the game, and you pick 3 people, whatever. And I'm
Terrible
like,
game.
it's a fun game,
Okay. All right.
but it's only fun if you throw away your like being embarrassed of saying, you know what I mean. You just got to answer the question. No one's judging you,
I'm judging me.
but
All right.
you got to promise to answer all the questions.
I can't promise. I don't know what you're throwing at me.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
Promise to answer all the questions.
I'll promise to do my best.
All right.
That's all I can say.
So I tried to. There's a couple that aren't in the category that I wanted, but I tried to keep it to female comics. Just because you're a comic, I thought it would, whatever. But first, I want to start off with one that I think is going to be very tough for you.
Okay.
Fuck, marry, kill. First question. Bruce Springsteen, Adrian Morel.
Oh.
Now this one, I called one of your friends, BB, to get. I decided with Kobe as the third choice in this.
Terrible.
Now, even though he's dead, Make-A-Wish Foundation Kobe.
Oh, like so.
Like, because I don't want you to be like, oh, he's already dead, so kill him. Like, no, he's alive. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, okay.
Bruce Springsteen. For those who don't know Adrian Morel, he was a running back for the Jets.
Yeah.
He was very near and dear to
was near
B's
and dear.
heart.
But you know, it's so long that I'll kill him.
Oh my God, I did not expect that.
Did you expect me to kill Springsteen or Kobe?
I didn't expect
Kobe's
you to-
already dead. I'm not going to kill
I
him
honestly
twice.
thought you were going to cop out and use Kobe as a kill, and I thought you would. I didn't know what you were going to do with Springsteen.
No. Man, I would like to marry him and fuck him, so I don't know what to pick.
To me, this is also why I did this, because to me, marry is who you like more. You could just fuck somebody, but you want to marry. It means you want to be with them.
Well, it's been widely noted Kobe might not have been a great husband, so maybe I'll just fuck Kobe and marry Bruce. I don't want to get caught up in any of that.
Oh, see, this is great. This is all going to be along these lines.
Okay, great.
Nikki Glazer, Lisa Lampanelli, and Natasha Leggero.
Oh.
Fuck, marry, kill.
I'd kill Lampanelli.
Would you?
Yeah. She's annoying.
She's hysterical, though.
She is, but you know what it is? She's got that accent.
Okay.
You know? I love the blacks. You know, like it just kind of gets to me. You know I'm a big woman. I love the blacks.
No, I got
dead.
you. I got
Goodbye,
you.
Lisa. Natasha Leggero, I'll fuck her because I feel like she would be annoying. You know, I'll get her over with, give it back to Moshe Kasher.
Yep.
And then, and I'll marry Nikki Glazer because Nikki
is the best.
Yeah, she would be fun.
She might be my favorite comic.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
And when I gave this question to you, because I was trying to think myself of the answers, that's exactly what I had.
Oh, okay.
The first one I couldn't do because I don't like any three of them. Mm-hmm. But I'd probably marry Kobe. But anyway. Let him cheat all over me.
Yeah.
The third one, fuck, marry, kill. Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph.
Oh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I like
this was a tough one for me because I kind of view all three of them the same.
Yeah. I feel like they would make all three of them would be a good wife. Like they'd be fun. Tina might be a little too bossy. As her book, Bossy Pants. No,
Tina's the least likely for me to marry out of. Amy Poehler would be the I'd marry.
Yeah, so Amy Poehler, I love Amy Poehler. You know, I spent many years at the Upright Citizens Brigade. She started the Upright Citizens Brigade. Man, but I love Maya Rudolph, and I don't want to kill Maya Rudolph. I don't really want to kill any of these people.
Got to kill one. Got to answer the questions.
Oh, God. All right. Maya Rudolph would be... She makes me laugh so hard, though.
She's funny.
I love Tina Fey.
I didn't think this one was going to be the real doozy for you.
It is. All right. I would never kill Amy Poehler.
Neither would I.
I'm going to marry Amy Poehler.
Same with me. Me and you thinking alike. This next one I think is a no-brainer.
What? You think you kill Maya Rudolph?
No.
You think you kill Tina Fey?
He didn't even think twice. Tina Fey's dead out of all three of them.
I think Tina Fey's so funny, but like, is she somebody you want to sleep with now? But is Maya Rudolph?
Maya Rudolph looks like she might be fun.
She might be fun. Yeah, you're right. I
don't like telling you answers.
But you swayed me. You did sway
That was
me.
what I would have done in this. See, I can't. I'm not helping you after this.
All right.
The next one. This is my favorite one.
Oh, everything's your favorite.
Because I love anything that I do.
You love me.
I love myself.
Say, you were just about to say, because I love me.
Yeah.
You stopped yourself.
I wasn't going to say that. Fuck, marry, kill. Wanda Sykes.
Okay.
Leslie Jones.
Okay.
Fortune Feimster.
Oh, dude, come on. Well, I'll tell you this.
This has got to be, to me, I think it's very easy.
I don't want to kill any of them, but I also don't want to fuck any of them.
That's my whole thing was, you don't want to kill or fuck any of them.
All right. Well, I saw Leslie Jones perform at Michael Che's birthday party a few years ago, and it was maybe the funniest comedy set I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
She's fucking funny.
Like, I destroyed the room like I've never seen anybody to this day.
That's great.
Leslie Jones. Do I want to take that home to marry? I feel like she'd be she'd be intense. You know, she even watches the Olympics screaming at the television.
Yes.
You know? Fortune sort of looks like you with a blonde wig.
I love Fortune. These are all three of them are lovable people. That's why I
Who's
thought
the
this
other
one
one?
was tough. Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes.
I think Wanda Sykes is
a
hysterical.
lesbian.
But she's hysterical.
She is. But maybe if I marry Wanda, we have a little thing. We're like, all right, listen, let me open up for you once in a while on the road. You clearly like women.
I think out of the three of them, Wanda Sykes is the most attractive.
She might be.
Out of the three of them, I am proudly. I don't think Wanda Sykes is very attractive, but out of the three of them,
Fortune
she
Feimster's
is.
a lesbian as well.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I'm taking everything.
They don't
into
have to say
consideration.
yes. It is what it is.
Right. I don't think that's a good thing.
Just to rape, marry, kill.
They don't have to say yes. Fortune Feimster, I just love. I think I'd marry her.
Okay. You still got two other choices. You got to kill one of them. I don't think anybody really thinks you're going to kill them, so fucking pick it.
You know what? I'll say this. I'd fuck Leslie Jones because what a story. What a story that would be. For the both of us, by the way. Not just me. Both of our... I mean, her talking about being with me and me talking about being with her. Sorry, Wanda, you got to go.
I like that one. That was different. I didn't think that. Okay. This is one of my favorite ones.
Dude, you've said that for every single one.
Because there's a reason why.
Okay.
This one, because, dude, you know how many female comics were? I picked them for reasons.
Okay.
I find all three of these, although the last one I don't know much about her, I just think she's attractive. I find all three of these, I think they're gorgeous.
Okay.
Tiffany Haddish, Ali Wong, Eliza Schlesinger.
Okay. I know who I'd kill.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I know who you'd kill.
I would kill Eliza Schlesinger.
Okay.
I think she's hilarious, but she's kind of a little stuck up.
Yeah. I'm all right.
She's very hot. I wouldn't mind sleeping with her, but
all three of them are very hot.
yeah.
At least Tiffany Haddish. I love Tiffany Haddish. She's
Tiffany Haddish. Man. Tiffany Haddish is hilarious. She's beautiful. She's with Common, though. You know, is that going to be a problem for me? I really like Common.
I didn't know she was with Common.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Now, Ali Wong, it seems like every time Ali Wong is around, she's pregnant. Do I get pregnant Ali Wong or unpregnant Ali Wong?
Unpregnant Ali Wong.
See,
although
right.
I will tell you, pregnant Ali Wong is hot.
Very hot. Very hot.
Like,
how does she wear a dress like that?
I watch Ali Wong's. What? Ali? What is it?
Well, keep going.
Whatever.
Ali Wong.
I watched both of her specials.
Would you want to put your dong in Ali Wong for 300?
Yes.
Okay.
I would, even pregnant without my kids,
Now
I would have dove in.
Here's what I'm thinking with Ali Wong.
I find her so attractive.
I am never getting a Netflix special in my life, but maybe I sleep with Ali Wong and I impregnate her, and my baby is on the next Ali Wong Netflix special. All right? Now, do I marry Tiffany Haddish? Yeah, I think I'd marry Tiffany Haddish. I just love everything about Tiffany Haddish.
I think Tiffany Haddish is one of the. She just seems so much fun. She seems down to earth. Like she's just all. She does her own gardening. Like I love Tiffany Haddish. Yeah. So I would marry Tiffany Haddish. I almost would marry her anyway.
Yeah.
But I agree with you 100%. This is a funny one.
Okay.
Whitney Cummings.
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman, who I think are like the same person, and Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi has been in so many things that I love. I love the movie Ghost.
Can I tell you, I loved a lot of things that Whoopi's done. Post all that Whoopi, I hate.
Oh, yeah, you don't like the political
talk
Whoopi.
show, political Whoopi, I don't like.
Yeah, imagine like every day at lunch and like Whoopi's trending on Twitter and like, what did my wife do now?
What did she say?
Or what did the girl I slept with do now? Yeah, just for that, you're right. I can't deal with that political stuff, and in that she's got to go. Now, Whitney Cummings, I think, is insane. Like, I think she's lost her mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard or seen her do anything in a little bit.
Her hair is changing colors every week.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She lives in the deserts. Hilarious. Ton of money, too. Man, if I marry Whitney Cummings, I am set, right? But I deal with Whitney Cummings. I love Whitney. She's funny, though. Who's the other one?
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman. I love Sarah Silverman.
I love Sarah Silverman.
Now, Sarah Silverman, I don't want one night with Sarah. Sarah would be also a little political,
but not annoying political.
Right.
Like, even if you don't agree with her, it's like we could still hang out.
Yeah. I could sit on the I would probably start smoking a lot more weed. I could sit on the couch and hang out and watch television with Sarah Silverman.
I agree.
Whitney Cummings, one night with Whitney? Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's how it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yep, that's how it would
Gotta
go.
kill Whoopi. Sorry,
Gotta
Whoopi.
kill, and I love Whoopi, but
I loved Eddie.
I love yeah, that's the movie you go to? Eddie was a great film.
You gotta go, though,
It was a great film. But, like, listen, Whoopi is not... first of all, I can never be with a woman with no eyebrows. That's just... Eyebrows mean a lot to me.
I hear you.
And she's a little older than the rest. Sarah's...
This one, I wish it was kill, kill, kill. Because this is what I would do.
Kill.
Kill, kill, kill. The white man. Howard Stern. I got to watch that movie again. That is one of my favorite parts of the...
Kill.
Kill,
The white
kill,
man.
kill. The white man. Kill him until he is dead.
All right.
It is... I hate all three of these people.
Okay.
Amy Schumer.
Okay.
Chelsea Handler. Ellen.
Oh, the Ellen really threw me off.
Who'd you think I was going to go?
I don't know. I thought you were going in the same vein of comedians.
Is there like a saying? Do you think I did a good job at my groupings?
Yes. Must you always need a pat on the
I
back?
do need a pat.
It's good. It's a lot better than I
The
thought.
Whoopi was the only one that was off. But I had to throw her in.
Yeah, you got to throw a whoop. Why? By
She's
the way,
a legend, a comedic legend.
Okay. All right. What about you? Should have done here? Can I? You should have done in one
listening.
category: Whoopi Goldberg, Paula Poundstone, and Ruth Buzzy. Now that would have been one hell of a situation. Do
You know who
Ruth
I
Buzzy
almost?
is?
I think I
Look up Ruth Buzzy. She's hot.
Who's the one that I wanted to put in this that I didn't? What the fuck is her name? Susan Bearhart? What the fuck was
Sarah Bernhardt.
Sarah Bernhardt?
Yeah.
I almost put her in this, but I wasn't sure.
Such a strong jaw on that woman.
Yeah, did I tell you there's just certain things? Because if you type in female comedians, a good list of them comes up. Like,
There's a lot.
No, but I mean, like, you know how it's hard to get a list of something?
Yeah.
Like, they actually rattled off a bunch, so I was able to, from, like, early to now.
Yeah. Okay.
So I did my best choosing, and I wanted to
you-
make sure you knew them. I figured you would know more than me anyway.
You did great. All right, so give me the list again. Okay, so it's Ellen.
Ellen, Chelsea
Schumer,
Handler, and
Chelsea.
Amy Schumer.
Okay. Now, let's break this down.
I hate Amy Schumer.
You hate Amy Schumer. I don't hate Amy Schumer. I don't have a... I think, listen, she's a Long Island gal.
She's a typical Long Island girl. That's nothing to be proud of.
I know, but, like, where, I feel like I could relate to her on some level, just since she is a Long Island girl.
My thing on this, I don't care. I'm going to come out and say mine would be Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler would be the one I marry because she's the most tolerable out of the three of them.
Okay.
I would kill Amy Schumer, and I'd probably just fuck Ellen to say I fucked Ellen.
That would be a good story.
That's all. That's the only reason why.
Yo, you guys hear about Chick and Ellen?
Chicken Ellen, and Ellen's probably, I think, one of the fakest people in showbiz.
Yeah, she'd probably act like she's enjoying sleeping with you. That's how
Yeah,
fake
she
she
probably
is.
would.
She's like, oh, it was good.
This is great.
Then she'd dance her way out of the room real fast.
I wish she'd dance away into oncoming traffic.
Why do you have such a hatred for these
Because I
women?
just think she's a phony. Sometimes I think things she does is funny, but I just think
she's
her whole
old-
be kind thing.
I know. Listen,
aggravates me.
Ellen's first special though was hilarious.
That's why I'm not saying that I don't think
she is
funny.
She is a killer of a comedian.
She's a good comic. She personally annoys me.
Okay.
I think it's more because of the talk show.
God, that Ellen money though.
Ellen money is almost marry her for that Ellen
it's
money.
like, listen, we both know that we kind of, I don't know.
What is she getting out of this with you, other than giving you
I don't
half?
know. She's probably treating me like one of her employees. She'll smack me around. Go make me some bread, you fool. I don't know. It would be hilarious to be an open mic comic and then just being like, my wife Ellen's calling me. I have to go home.
I got to go home to Ellen.
She'd probably hate all my jokes.
Anybody who only has one name is powerful.
Yeah.
Think about it. She used to be Ellen DeGeneres.
Right.
And now she's just Ellen. She's like Oprah, but she's not.
Yeah.
Like, that's what bothers me is.
Well, you're just chick.
Yeah, but she, in my opinion, thinks she's taking over for Oprah.
Does she anymore?
Well, she's the midday talk show host,
There'll
the
never
one
be
name talk show host. There won't ever be an Oprah who does these giveaways and does like. She's a fucking fake Oprah.
Yeah.
And you're not even getting Oprah money.
All right.
Where's your E channel?
Chelsea Handler?
Yeah. I just think out of the three, she's the most tolerable. There was a time where I liked Chelsea Handler.
I would fuck Chelsea Handler.
Okay. She'd probably be fun.
I think she would be.
Didn't she fuck 50 Cent?
Yeah. She'd probably write about it in a book, her worst lays ever.
Yeah.
And I'd be in there. I'd be a part of the new Chelsea Handler book. Like,
Buzzing with B.
yeah. Disappointed. After he stings you, he dies. All right. I'm gonna marry Ellen because I just think it's hilarious that Ellen's my wife, and I'll
Fuck
kill
Chelsea
Schumer.
and kill. Yeah, you gotta kill. I think Schumer. See, no matter which way you break it down,
And I'm not a hater of Amy Schumer, but I guess in this situation,
fuck you, Amy Schumer.
in this situation, she has to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So now here's the teaser.
Oh, God. Okay.
These are the last two, and you have
Don't
to
make me answer
them.
comedians I know
They're not comedians, you know.
or friends that I know.
Me, Chris, and Taylor.
Oh. I would kill you for making me answer this question.
I knew you'd escape out and do that.
I would fuck Chris because he'd be gone to another country anyway. He'd leave me before I leave him. And I'd marry T. Briz.
You would marry T. I knew you'd marry T. Briz.
I love T. Briz.
You miss him so much.
I miss him. We'd start our own podcast and, husband and husband.
I think we should start asking all of our guests who they'd marry, kill, or fuck me, you, or Chris.
Yeah.
But this last one.
There's more?
This is the
I thought we were done.
No, this is the one that nobody thinks you can answer.
Okay.
And I swore that I would ask it. And now that I'm not going to lie, now that it comes down to it, I almost had cold feet asking you.
Are you going to listen? We have people I know are listening.
I know this is why I have to.
I already know I'm not going to answer this, but go on.
Why do you look annoyed?
Because you're tanking this episode because I'm going to make you take it out if it's that bad. But go on.
What do you mean?
Ask the question, you dope.
Your father, your mother, or your sister?
It's not even an original question.
That's
what
who's asked you that?
Everybody.
Who's ever asked you that? Nobody.
I'm not answering that. I can't answer that. What are you, crazy? It's insane.
Bill goes, no way he answers that, but I can't wait for the reaction.
Why would I answer that?
I thought you'd be and realize it's funny and just because I think there's only one answer you can give on that.
What?
All I'm going to say is you can't kill the people who've given you kidneys.
Right.
And you can't fuck your mom.
Yeah.
So
or my dad. Or my sister. None of them. This is gross.
But obviously they're all gross. But you got to fuck your dad.
I don't even want this thought
you
being
fuck
in
your
the
dad,
podcast.
Marry your mom.
Stop. No, I'm not answering. This is ridiculous. This is a stupid one. You should have replaced this with the Whoopi Goldberg, Ruth Buzzy, and Paula Poundstone.
I cracked myself up.
Oh, at least you crack yourself up. No, I refuse to answer that.
I know you weren't going to answer.
It wasn't even that good.
Oh, it wasn't that good. It was funny.
Gross.
But I do have time for picks because that whole game took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. You were very good because you had a good reasoning. With everybody
you
else.
can't just answer it like, you have to. You have to have some reason.
You don't. I mean, people could. You could.
Well, then it wouldn't be much of a talk show, huh?
No, no. I'm just saying though. I thought I was very pleased.
All right,
with
good.
your way of answering.
I'm glad you were pleased. All right, let's get to your picks.
So
hold on, let's get to your picks.
Yep. So I am. I wasn't liking how the other picks were going, so I trashed it. I'm sorry, McLaughlin. I wasn't feeling just picking favorites of things that everybody's seen. And
you were down on your picks. You actually called me.
Yeah, I almost gave up on it.
It was very weird. You called me like, things aren't going so great. I'm just hating my picks. I thought you were going to say your job or, I just don't like the way my body's turned out. But you're like, nah, man, honestly, I leave and I'm like, I hate my picks. Like, wow. He really cares about
terrible.
He puts a lot into it.
Well, I want him to be good. If you're going to do something, it's not worth doing.
I have been missing out on knowing what to watch next because of you.
I've been getting a lot of people asking me for that stuff. So, the first one, I did not think this was going to be good. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like 50 First Dates and Groundhog's Day where you get in the time loop. It's called Palm Springs with
I saw that,
Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
It was actually hysterical. And I liked
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, Aubrey, one, she is just the best.
She's great.
And I just I didn't think I was going to love it. Like, I didn't think I was going to like it that much, and I watched it just because, like, I had nothing else to watch. I thought it would be pretty funny. And I was very happily surprised.
Okay.
And I highly recommend it. It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. It's a movie.
Movie on Hulu, Palm Springs.
Cool.
The next one is called The Lady and the Dale on HBO.
Yes.
Now, this is a recommendation from one of our listeners, fan of yours and Christian Hans, JB.
Yes.
He's like, dude, did you see this? It's it's a pretty interesting story. I think you'd like it. So I watched it, and it's basically about this con artist guy who winds up going on the run and then becomes I don't want to say becomes transgender, finally changes sexes, but not because he's on the run, but because he is a transgendered person who thought he was a woman.
Yeah.
And then he winds up making, I don't know if anybody's ever remembers hearing about the story of the Dale, which was supposed to be a car that was on 3 wheels, and it was supposed to be like 70 miles to the gallon.
Looks
and
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but it's a very interesting docuseries, and it's on HBO. Third one is another HBO docuseries. You could get it, just started. First episode was out last week. There's, I think, 3 more coming out. Allen vs. Pharaoh. And it's about Woody Allen and Mia Farrow.
I'll tell you, man, that really. Can
I tell you why it creeped me out so much? Is I don't know how I missed this. Like, I always remember hearing about Woody Allen and how he was a little creepy and he married. I didn't know who Soon-Yi was.
You didn't?
I didn't know that it was his girlfriend's or whatever, his adopted daughter.
Right.
Like, I didn't know that. To me, that was I had no idea. And then about his other daughter, Dylan, who he was like super creepy with. I didn't know about any of this.
The whole thing really creeped me out, and
it was almost creepier. It's almost creepier than the Michael Jackson, because to me this is fact.
Yeah.
Like, it was much more believable. Not that the other stuff of Michael Jackson wasn't, but there's still the doubt of.
But there is still other,
What, his side of it?
Yeah, I don't know. You're right.
To me, when the kid and the mom and
he wasn't charged
because he also, I don't know if it was an actual pedophile or if it was just, like he said, intensely affectionate.
Okay.
Overly, inappropriately affectionate.
It's so creepy.
But that's the whole thing. But anyway, it's called Allen vs. Pharaoh. It's on HBO. If you don't know anything about it, I highly suggest you watch, because it was very interesting.
I watched the first one. It was just tough.
Are you going to go back?
I'm going to watch it.
You got it, right?
I'm going to watch it. But you know what? I actually do like a lot of Woody Allen's movies.
I don't. But I don't think Woody Allen's a bad director. I just don't like his style per se.
Okay. I loved Annie Hall. I think that's a fantastic
there's
movie.
certain things that I've seen of his that I enjoyed. That's why I'll never badmouth him, because the guy is a legend.
Yeah.
It's just, I didn't realize how super creepy he was.
Oh, it's so creepy. And
the thing about Woody Allen I always liked, he was always at the Garden. He was like a true New Yorker. And then when you find out that he's a true creep fucking pedophile, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it was disturbing. All right, but I am going to have to watch the second one.
Right?
It's only 2 episodes?
No, I thought it said 4-part.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
I don't know if I can go.
I don't know how much more there is to the story, though. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
Yeah. Fuck, marry, kill. Woody Allen, Michael Jackson, or give me a third.
R. Kelly?
R. Kelly. Who do you go with?
Fuck Michael Jackson because he's probably the most.
Ow!
He's probably the most feminine out of the three of them.
Yep.
I would kill Woody Allen because he just seems like a super creep weirdo.
Yeah.
And R. Kelly's probably. I guess I'd marry R. Kelly because he probably smokes weed and probably hang out with him.
Yeah. In between pissing on you.
Listen,
He's gonna
you know what the thing is? You got to be a good sport. Obviously, I don't want to fuck, marry, or kill any of. Well, I would probably kill all three, but I don't want to fuck or marry either. Of them.
Yeah.
So you just got to go with it. Out of the three, that's the choice.
Yeah,
you make.
I guess that is the choice.
Who would you do?
I guess the same thing. Although, having R. Kelly write a love song about me might be nice.
If you're married to you, you'd write a lot.
Yeah, maybe. He's more of a
And then
one
a
night guy.
PP. And the fucking Chappelle show when he made fun of him.
Can I recommend one thing? I've been pushing it for a couple weeks now.
Please.
For All Mankind on Apple TV. I think it's fantastic.
I'm about to start watching that. It's literally next up on my agenda. It's about Russia beating the U.S.
Yeah, but
moon,
it's like it includes it's really well done. I think. I hope it doesn't get bad. The second season just came out.
I think I know somebody who's watching the second season and still likes it.
Yeah, only one episode came out, so they're releasing it like.
I respect the streaming services that are making people wait.
I kind of like it
because that's like the WandaVision.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into WandaVision. I tried it.
I thought WandaVision started very slow to the point where I almost stopped watching it.
Yeah,
and then when it picked up, it fucking picked up.
Okay, all right, maybe I'll give it a shot.
I like that. It's just because it's a little taste of the old.
It's kind of cool because I binged the first season, and the last 3 episodes of For All Mankind, I was at the edge of my seat. Like it was great.
In the first season.
In the first season, I was like, man, this is some good television.
Well, speaking of For All Mankind,
but I like space stuff.
And I was just gonna say in space stuff, I don't want to go into it too much. Did you hear about the Mars landing and that? Did you watch it?
I watched. I watched
cool
it
was
after.
that?
So cool.
When it lands on there and it's just coming down and you see, it was so sick.
Yeah, it really was. That's what was my big thing. I'm trying to like get as many people to watch it, but every time I tell people I'm like it's space, they kind of look at me like I'm insane. They're like, do I really want to watch a show about space?
I think the best way that I've heard would be, it's one of those alternate. Historical, like if something else happened and if Russia beat us to the moon.
Even like in the second season they like continue on this other thing.
Does it change JFK and everything?
It changes. Yeah, it changes. So it doesn't. I don't think it changes JFK. I'm not sure.
Well, he started the space race, and Nixon.
Yeah, so JFK's before, but JFK gets mentioned a lot because Nixon's in it.
Well, Nixon's when we landed.
Yeah, so. It's kind of Nixon's like, they're going to see that JFK got us there and Nixon dropped the ball.
I've been, since the Mars stuff too, I've just been heavily into this whole UFO stuff, like even more. I've been watching tons of
American
shit.
Airlines saw a thing yesterday, they said.
The guy, it was audio. Yeah. I have a whole new theory on all this declassified stuff. And it's going to be different than what I've been talking about, but we'll get into it another time.
One more quick thing for All Mankind. It's not a spoiler, but in the second season, it opens with news story because it fast forwards like 5 years or something like that.
Okay.
And it opens with like alternate that reality's
new headlines
because
everything is domino affected.
So at one of them was John Lennon almost got shot and the Pope did get shot. And like just Team USA lost
to Russia.
Yeah, just a few things like that.
That's great.
And I don't know. I just loved it. But
I love me with the history stuff.
The history, man.
But I would love that too. So I can't. That's why it bothered me so much that the last castle fell apart.
What was
it? Was the most ideal plot line, and they fucking ruined it.
What is it?
The last castle was about if the Hitler and the Nazis won World War II.
Oh,
and
that's
it was,
right. Yeah.
dude. It was like the U.S. gets split into the West Coast was ran by
That's right.
the Japs.
That's what made me think I wasn't gonna like this because I didn't.
The whole thing was it was phenomenal, and then they veer away from just a plain old alternate historical things happening.
Yeah.
To the point where they throw in like a third dimension. It's dueling dimensions.
Well, that's what I worry about For All Mankind because they're going like into their plan is to go 7 seasons into like the future. So
but going into the future to me is different than having alternate
but in that universe where like they already have electric cars, but they look like they're from the 80s. So it's I don't know. We'll see.
It could be cool.
I hope it works out. I thought it was fantastic.
Well, there's people who do claim that these aliens are getting like they're traveling through intergalactics and all that through dimensions, which is an actual thing of things like almost a future and past type thing. So super interesting stuff.
A lot of
that's out
stuff
there.
to ponder on.
It is a lot of stuff. But if you made it this far,
Yeah.
thank you guys for listening. Review us. If you have any questions or any thoughts about anything, reach out to us. We'd appreciate it.
And we got a fun episode coming up. We're gonna have a guest, and do a nice little game. So
yes,
that'll be coming up. So and video cameras
and
things are gonna
big
get
things.
nice,
Things
guys.
are getting big.
Hang
so
on with us.
Thank you guys for listening. If you made it this far.